I've officially retired the kale bed. I've pulled it all out by the roots and just laid it over on top of each other because it's going to decompose and further give nutrients to this bed for what I'm going to be planting in it. And you'll see just how quickly it decomposes. I'm going to put a layer of compost on the top, pretty thick layer, and before you know it, I'll be planting some green beans in this bed, and they're going to be fed by the nutrients of past season's harvest. So I just added on the compost layer. I will show you the brand of compost I used. All I did was wait till the kale and the lettuce stems dried out a little bit. I left them kind of for a couple of days. Then I used my shovel to just break them up, laid on the 2 bags of compost, and evened it out. All I'm going to do next is throw on some fertilizer, and then I'll be ready to plant. But that will be the next video you see. But now this bed is fully prepped for the next step. So I kept the bags so I could show you the brand of compost. I just went to my local Home Depot. They only had 2 brands of compost. I would have liked to have been able to find like a nice organic one, but this was all they had, so kind of can't be picky. This is a blend. That is something you want to make sure you get. They usually have compost like this where it's just manure, but you want to make sure it's a blend. And this one specifically said it will not burn roots. That's important because if you're going to be planting seeds directly into compost, you want to make sure it doesn't burn up your plants before they can start. So I'm also leaving this compost on there. It's already been on there for a couple of days to further kind of decompose a bit before I plant directly into it. But this is the compost I'm using. I don't recommend it just because I would prefer an organic, just a different blend, but if this is all that you have available, it will work. Once your kale is blanched, all I do is put it into Ziploc bags and then throw it in the freezer. You can pre-freeze it if you don't want it to freeze in like blocks, and I've shown you how to do that method as well. But this method, you can easily just break off chunks and throw them in soups and stuff, and that's what I'm going to be using this kale mainly for, just sauteing or in soups and stews. So that is the other way that I like to preserve kale. If I'm doing a large batch and I want it to last longer, because I did get a question on my other video, do you have to blanch the kale first? And you don't if you're going to use it quickly. So with this method, it's going to last longer. This method where I just froze it and threw it in the bag, you want to use this rather quickly. So within about a month, but that other bag will last, I mean, it could last up until like a year, but this one you want to use quick. So those are my two methods for freezing kale, greens, anything, any dark leafy greens, spinach. That is both of the ways that I like to freeze and store them for storage.